So this is our early August garden tour. My flowers are really starting to get going. Starting to get some of the dahlias from seed. Snapdragons and zinnias are going. Up front I've got some cucumbers I'm gonna allow to get large. So I'll go across this front before it gets too sunny. So this is our lemon basil with some lipstick peppers there. And this is my favorite bed to look at from the house because we see this front view from all of our windows. This is the rainbow chard. Our carrots, we've eaten probably about 50% of them so far. As they get big, we eat the bigger ones. Brassicas. So this is the bed that's gonna change the most for the next video. Fennel's actually grown back. I didn't cut it down small enough. But we got our cabbages sizing up well. Collards. This is my one watermelon vine. And it's actually gotten sunny enough over here as the summer's moved on that the flowers are doing pretty well. Some of them need to get cut back because they've actually kind of finished. But I'll go back here. I'm about to get a bunch of drumstick flowers. And this one opened up today. This is the first time seeing this one. I got off the bargain rack. And it's a little more garish than I had hoped, this dahlia. I'd wanted it to be lime green, but it's a little more yellow. But still exciting. So from this back corner, the peas have been exchanged for climbing beans that are just now starting to flower and fruit. We're still wrapping up the last little bit of our dill. This one was stunted, which is giving us dill. These are starting to flower. I'm leaving them. The spreading monstrous watermelon. I need to go in and prune. These Romesco cauliflower aren't gonna heart for me. It's too hot. I just need to cut them down and try again for this fall. We've got kale. Then my second tomatillo that split before I could support it is actually growing. So I think my wrapping it in plumber's tape seems to be holding. And then in this bed, we've got my tallest kales. They're stunning this time of morning with the dew kind of sparkling on the kale leaves. There's 3 cabbages back here that are red. I've got a row or so of edamame for fresh eating. And then my larger second sowing of beans. There's purple, green, and yellow in there. With that rainbow chard, these colors are just stunning. Then this is my sweet pepper bed. So the lipstick are followed by some rainbow bells, which have some red bells. And I noticed that there's a few about to start really getting color. We've got some banana peppers on the other side of some second sowing of Italians. And then these other sweet Italians are just huge. And so there's the bananas. I got these just for pickling. I love pickled banana peppers. And then this is our second sowing of corn and some spare tomato plants. And so we'll see how these do. It's a different variety than the ones I did the first sowing. But they've all been tasseling during this rain, so I'm not having as high hopes for germination this time. And then these tomatoes, I decided not to prune to my 1 or 2 liters and just to let them go crazy, which I think may produce more fruit. But it is just a massive craziness, and I think it's a little too chaotic for my taste. This bed has changed the most in the past month. I had summer squash on either end with some eggplants in the middle, and the summer squash got as tall as me. It shaded out the eggplant, so we pulled them out and then put in, I've got 4 tomatoes that I don't actually know which kinds they are. I took from cuttings and rooted from the other ones amongst my 3 eggplants that have survived. So this will be our holding on to summer all the way till frost bed. And then we've got my 2 Romas that have produced way more than I expected them. And they're still going. So that's been exciting. And then our peppers are getting going over here. This is a habanada, a sweet habanero. And then we've been getting lots of these. These are shishitos, which are a thin-skinned, sweet sauteing pepper. And then the tomatillos are monstrous. We've been getting a good bit. I'm not hopeful for all of these ripening now. They've just been so attacked all summer long with flea beetle. And my organic sprays just they seem to knock them back but not get rid of them. And it's getting stressed, turning yellow and dropping fruit before they are fully ripe. You can see there's some down on the ground I need to pick up. So I need to research over the winter. And then I did 3 okra, which I've learned, because they only set and grow like 1 good one per plant. You know, you harvest this and a few days later this will be ready. So I need more than 3 next year. Poblanos over here are growing nicely. We've been starting harvesting some of these, so they're now going on to their next set of fruit. Holy basil is monstrous and needs to be harvested. I'm finally getting some jalapenos that these satin didn't do anything for the longest time, so that's exciting. Behind them were my first sowing of tricolored beans and some limas back there. And this is my second sowing of squash. And this is a success story. This one got a vine borer and I treated it by injecting BT into the stem as a natural bacteria. And it worked because it recovered and is now growing fruit. And this I thought was a zucchini. And I mislabeled it the trombonzino, which likes to vine way more. It's vined from the bottom to the top and back down already. So this will not get to survive very long. Got to cut down our first sowing of corn. We've harvested all of those. I've got black-eyed peas. I got a seed exchange going over here for fresh eating, not to store. And then our cucumbers have really filled in. So we've got a few of all the different kinds. That's the one that's called a slicer. This one is called homemade pickles, so they're little pickling ones. And then over here, there's 1 slicer vine and 2 of these Japanese, which kind of can be used as English cucumbers. They're thin-skinned and long. And there's another slicer. And then our sunflowers back here are doing great. All down the back. And then we have all of our rows of tomatoes, so I'll just real fast go past them. And got more basil I need to harvest, and I did a sowing of free carrots that it actually seems to be doing great back in there. So this is a atomic grape. This is a black cherry, so it's a dark red. Black strawberry. And then this one is the tropical sunset, so it's a yellow. Then in the middle here are the honey nut squashes I've started harvesting, and I'm learning that the older the plant, the bigger the fruit. So after the first ones came off, it's grown my biggest one yet, which is very exciting. Then in here we have one that's called a long keeper. That it's supposed to be good. You can pick it and store it for 6 weeks or more. Then the queen of the night. The sunflowers back there just make me happy. This is the mortgage lifter and the prairie fire. Then the center cut squash, which is a trombonzino variety. I need to cut this and bring it in. are doing great. They're sending out more fruits for me. And then got the Sweet Prince, the Virginia Sweet, Sun Gold, and the last one is Black Brandywine. So that is what our early August garden looks like.